LCJ Live, and congratulations to the #1 movie in America and to the movie now with the biggest debut of the year, the biggest debut since Avatar, Project Hail Mary, blasting off with $80 million. Wow. Amazon MGM above expectations. I was thinking at least 55 to 60. $80.6 million for Project Hail Mary. That is tremendous. I'm not shocked because this movie is going to appeal to a lot of people of all ages, across the country. Ryan Gosling fans, space movie fans, fans of The Martian, which opened to 55 million and totaled 228, I believe, something like that. It had really good holds for several weeks, and I think that's going to be the case again here for Project Hail Mary. Don't have a lot of competition this coming weekend. Then you got Mario, and the drama will make a little bit, but Project Hail Mary will probably do very well through the entire month of April as well. Got some comments coming in already here on LCJ Live. What's up, Christian Kozlowski? B. Hunter Woodruff, I watched Nuremberg. Oh, okay. I thought it was fantastic. One of my favorite movies of the year. Let's see. Project Hail Mary did make a lot of money. Wow. Yes. And so did The Martian. Absolutely. You didn't like the Nuremberg? That's all right. That's okay. Sirat is a much better movie than Project Hail Mary, says Pete Crooks. Because I didn't love Project Hail Mary. I'll get into my thoughts in a second. I didn't hate it, but it's not great. Sirat, I have issues with as well. I like the first half of Sirat more than the second half. It's also the first show, by the way, today of LCJ Live after the Oscars. It's been a week now, but I think we're moving forward when it comes to the new movies. Is Project Hail Mary going to get nominated for some stuff this time next year? I would say yes. I hope the Oscars moves back to February, but I think Project Hail Mary has a shot at some technical nominations and maybe Best Picture. I liked F1, but if F1 can get in Best Picture, so can Project Hail Mary in terms of a crowd-pleasing moneymaker. And that's what Project Hail Mary is. 80.6 million. It's already the 6th biggest Amazon MGM movie since their modern era of combining as Amazon MGM, really. 2018 with the MGM revival and then Amazon coming into play. It is already their 6th biggest film. It's going to be their #1 film. It's going to continue to make lots and lots of money over the next few weeks. Project Hail Mary is a movie that I think is very obvious. The script is very obvious. There are a couple little surprises towards the end. There are some good dramatic moments, emotional moments. The comedy, not a huge fan of. I was never bored, but at the same time, I was never enthralled. It is too long at 2.5 hours. I don't know. I wasn't annoyed at the time period shifting as much as I was annoyed at some of The Martian, but I like The Martian a little more than this overall. But it's just one of those movies that's just average. I just feel like Project Hail Mary is average. It's an average experience. There are a few highlights. Sandra Huller's got a karaoke scene people are going to talk about forever, but just not a lot of extraordinary work there. Sam B. Russell, I think Gosling deserves an Oscar. He has 0. Yeah, Ryan Gosling has been making a lot of movies for a long time, and this is a movie that could get him back on Best Actor ballots at the end of the year. I could see this showing up on some 10 Best lists, especially, AFI, PGA, Critics' Choice. I could absolutely see this being a nominee. Gosling was in that silly musical. I loved La La Land. La La Land's in my top 10 of all time. Yeah, let's see. No spoilers. Yeah, I won't get into spoilers, says Kelly's kind of awkward. I won't get into spoilers. But it's a movie that didn't grab me emotionally. And I thought it might. But with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, they do a lot of humor in their movies and some wackiness, and it works in the animated films like Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. 22 Jump Street has some hilarious moments in it, but mixing that with some dramatic things, tone issues are often there with movies, and they are, in this case, there are some tone issues as well. But anyway, $80 million. People are going to it. People were very curious to see this. This is a movie that Amazon has promoted for months and months and months. There were test screenings mid-last year that were very positive. And the first trailer for this came out a long time ago. I remember going, wow, they're giving away a lot in this trailer, and we still got 8 or 9 months. So now it's here, and it's making money, and it's doing really well for the theaters, and the book is a good read. Okay. Maybe I'll be interested to read the book. I don't know. I've heard good things about the book. I have. But 80.6 million, biggest open since Avatar in December, And this is a movie I think is going to be number one again next weekend, at least 40 million. We'll see if people want to go see it multiple times. It is a long film. I do think there will be people who do go see this multiple times, and the theaters can use all the hits they can get. So congratulations to Project Hail Mary. Oh, tone issues. It's that clash of here's the light humor and the wackiness, and here's the drama and some legitimate drama and emotion. And having those scenes right up against each other and how you're feeling in those moments and how you're taking it all in, that's what I mean by tonal clash. Again, there's some good moments with the drama and the emotion. The comedy, kind of basic, kind of standard, kind of been there, done that. You know, there are certain scenes in this movie that are very reminiscent of other space movies over the last 13 years. Of course, it all kicked off with Gravity. Gravity opened to 55, just like The Martian. And Gravity totaled $274 million, won 7 Oscars. That kicked off this modern space movie era that has also had Interstellar and The Martian and Life and Ad Astra, and I'm missing a couple others. First Man, of course, and then the Creator, and many others that have come along in the last 13 years. And this is the latest one. And there will be more, I am sure, because of the success of Project Hail Mary. All right. Let's go to number 2. It's Hoppers. It's $18 million. It's $120 million total for this Pixar movie. It has passed Lightyear. Talk about another space movie. It has passed Lightyear at the domestic box office. It is going to pass The Good Dinosaur, which did $123.5. Here's the big question for Hoppers. Will it get past Elemental? Because you remember Elemental, it opened at $30 million, just about. Totaled $154 because the word of mouth was so good on Elemental, and I knew it would be. I went to Pixar. I saw the footage. The one scene that told me this was going to be a movie that was going to last in theaters for a long time is the scene with Ember and Wade starting to get to know each other, going on dates. They go to the movies. They have that rainbow sequence. That song, Steal the Show, is part of it. And that's the scene. And in my mind, I went, okay, this is good. Elemental's going to be a date movie. This is going to be a movie that young couples are going to go see. And Elemental did 30 and then totaled 154. That is what I knew. So, here's Hoppers, a movie that opened to 46 million, and now is at 120, which is very good. Does it get to 154? It'll have another good weekend next weekend, and then here comes Mario. The question will be, will Mario bring Hoppers down to like 2 million in 2 weekends? Maybe a little bit more. But it'll probably take away a lot of screens, and a lot of families will go see Mario now that becomes the newer film. Though props to GOAT, because even with Hoppers being out and making 120, GOAT is almost at $100 million. It came in 7th this weekend, added $3.5 million. It's at 97.5, and I do think by the end of next weekend, Sony will absolutely keep it in theaters to get it to $100 million domestically. And it has already passed Garfield. It's going to pass Sausage Party when it comes to Columbia Animated Films. Probably fall a little short of Angry Birds with 107.5, but still, for this to get to 100 million, an original animated film, congratulations to GOAT, and congratulations to Hoppers, an original animated movie, on being at 120. First Man is underrated. Ryan Gosling was excellent in First Man. I really enjoyed that film. Angry Birds 3 is coming out in December. Number 3 this weekend is Durandar The Revenge. 9.6 million. 13.5 million total with its extended opening weekend. The first Durandar, which came out in December, opened to 2 million but totaled 19.7. So out of that 19.7 million from that, 13.5 million already people wanted to see this right away. So congratulations to that film. Excellent start for that. Not as strong. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, number 4. 9.1 million. And you're probably thinking, well, that's more than the first one did. Yeah, but Ready or Not, which came out in 2019 from Searchlight, had a 3-day open of 8 million, had a 5-day open of 11 million, and totaled 28.7. It was the second biggest Searchlight movie of 2019 behind Jojo Rabbit. I don't think this is a great opening weekend. I think Disney wanted at least 10. They got 9. And I don't know if this can get to 28.7 to match the first one, which came out well over 6 years ago. We're talking 6.5 years ago. I'm not sure this is going to get to 28.7. I think they wanted a little more out of Ready or Not 2. And we've got another horror movie this coming weekend called They Will Kill You from Warner Brothers that's going to get the horror audience next weekend. So, yeah, there are so many horror movies. It's the horror movie of the week. And I don't know. At some point, audiences are going to get tired of horror movies, or they're only going to go to a couple. But then you've got other horror movies like Scream 7, which had 4.3 million. It's at 114.5. Yes, it passed the last one, but that did 108. We're pretty close to that. And then you've got Undertone, which added 3 million. It's at 15.2. It is A24's biggest film of the year so far. But again, that's not a blockbuster, especially compared to Scream. So all these horror movies, some are going to do more than others and have bigger results than others. But there's just so many of them. And there's more in April and May and beyond to the rest of the year. Let's see. Number 5, Reminders of Him. Added 8 million. It's at 33.2. Now, this is from Universal. Remember the last Colleen Hoover from Paramount called Regretting You did 48.9. This did 8 million second weekend. Maybe it does 5 next weekend. So that would bring it to 38 plus a little extra 40. It's going to be close. I'm not sure this is going to pass Regretting You. Bigger opening weekend, but this second weekend not quite as strong. So I'm not sure this is going to get to that 48.9 of Regretting You. Lots of comments coming in. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate thoughts and reactions. And how about we talk about the Pow Pow Fish? Because this is an animated movie that I spoke with the director and writer of a few weeks ago. Viva Kids put this out. The early estimate, because we don't have the official money, 1.4 million on this. So a little bit of money from families and fans of the book for the Pow Pow Fish. About 1.4 million this weekend. Now, here's the thing with number 10. As of now, it could be Wuthering Heights with just $475,000, 83.3 million total. But we don't have the money on some movies left over from last weekend, like Crime 101, the re-releases of TMNT 2, and Kiki's Delivery Service. Also, Rose Byrne started a new movie this weekend called Toe, which I do recommend. I think Rose Byrne is very good in this. It's an interesting story. It's messy, especially in the middle section, but there are a lot of good things about Toe, and then there's some things that go, did they really need to do that? But Rose Byrne is very good. I would think that Toe might have made more than $475,000, but it may not have. The marketing on it was not huge. It's roadside attractions, but we're coming off of Rose Byrne getting that Golden Globe win and Oscar nomination for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I think she's better in Toe than she is in that movie, so I recommend you go see Toe. So as of right now, don't have the money on Toe, but it could have made more than $475,000 to get in the top 10, or something else might have. So I think when the official results come out later, that'll be interesting to see what the number 10 movie is. Right now, Pow Pow Fish, probably number 9. All right, The Bride. Oh yeah, we got to mention The Bride. Dropped 87%, something crazy like that, down to $275,000. It's only at $12.5 million. And then Marked by Sophia, this new documentary from Sofia Coppola and Marc Jacobs, opened in 2 theaters to $47,000. It expands nationwide this weekend to join a film called Fantasy Life, also Forbidden Fruits. As I mentioned, They Will Kill You is coming out. And then Holy Days, which is a film I have seen. It's this Australian road trip, young boy and some nuns, part of a convent church community in Australia. I think it's set in the 80s. I screened this movie a while ago. It's set in the 80s. Not great. It's one of those movies that kind of, again, it's that tonal clash. It tries to do some emotional things, but it's also, in this case, very silly and goofy, even with some slapstick humor and some wacky moments and some quirky moments, and it just doesn't fully come together. It has a few moments here and there, and it's not a terrible experience, but I didn't love Holy Days. So that is coming out this weekend. And then you have a movie that is debuting on Hulu that everybody who's seen it so far said 20th Century should have put this out in theaters. It's called Mike and Nick and Alice. It's with Vince Vaughn and James Marsden. I'll probably watch it on Hulu this coming weekend, although I saw an ad for it yesterday and didn't love the look of it. But that'll probably do some numbers on Hulu. It's always interesting to see which movies from 20th Century and Searchlight decide to go to Hulu instead of going to theaters. I wish there was a Vacation Friends 3, because I like those 2 films from 20th Century that went straight to Hulu. All right, so congratulations to Project Hail Mary. $80.6 million. It will be number 1 again next weekend, pretty sure of that. And Amazon MGM's got a huge hit. And it just goes to show you that the power of movie theaters, because imagine if this was straight to streaming. Oh my gosh. Amazon and the theaters would have lost out on so much money, so much attendance, so much buzz. That would have been something. Sheep Detectives is coming out in May. That is one of the next big Amazon MGM movies. I don't think it'll do quite this big, these numbers, Meredith Hagner in Vacation Friends, absolutely. Yes. And so, yeah, Project Hail Mary, #1 again next weekend. When we're back here, we'll talk about that. And I'll just mention a couple things from the Oscars from last Sunday, since this is the first LCJ Live since then. It was a good show. I thought there were some high points, and a lot of the presenter banter was terrible. But, Conan had some good moments, and there were a lot of things, a few surprises with the winners. Michael B. Jordan, great speech, great reaction to him winning. Also, Jessie Buckley, she had a very nice speech. Best Picture, of course, going to One Battle After Another. Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson. Ryan Coogler wins. Original Screenplay for Sinners. Animated Short winner, congratulations to The Girl Who Cried Pearls. And Animated Feature going to K-Pop Demon Hunters. And then you had Sean Penn winning his 3rd Oscar for One Battle After Another. And then Amy Madigan wins Supporting Actress for Weapons. And horror movies getting a lot of love. Frankenstein winning the 3 I expected it was going to win in the technical categories. And there were a few other surprise winners. I thought Casting would go to Sinners, but it went to One Battle After Another. And there you go. Now we move on to next year and already thinking about maybe Project Hail Mary getting some of those spots. So that's it. That's today's episode of LCJ Live. For more, go to X at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. The website is lights-camera-jackson.com. Go to lcj.podbean.com, animationscoop.com, toofast2films.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications. We'll be back live next Sunday at noon Eastern. We'll take a look at the box office for Project Hail Mary. They Will Kill You, Forbidden Fruit, some of these other movies coming out. We will preview what should be a gigantic 5-day open for Mario. We'll also preview the drama. And we'll take a look at the highlights of the first quarter of 2026, because next Sunday will be the final Sunday of the first quarter of the year. We'll take a look at what's leading the box office, surprises, disappointments, analysis heading into the next quarter, which will kick off with Mario. All right, that's it. That's LCJ Live. Hope you enjoyed the Oscars. Hope you have a good week. Stay well, stay positive. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.